Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. How's it going, Thomas? Oh, I can't hear you at all. Your beautiful voice.
Can you hear me now?
There you are. Lovely.
Beautiful. Well, good morning, Liam. Yeah, for you and I, it's morning. For those of us tuning in from all over the world, who knows what time of day it is? Definitely not the morning. But we're glad that you're here with us for the Telos Buzz, your home for Telos News. Liam, I'm doing pretty well, actually. I finally put on my little
You
Telos
got your
button.
Telos pin button on? I got mine on too, made by our beautiful COO, Jenna Bjornson at Corduroy Earth. Thank you for taking the time to create these. Gotta rep Telos always.
Exactly there. Mine's a little higher up now. You can actually see it.
Thanks everybody for coming out. It's great to have some people here. We are going to be joined by Philip from Destiny World, aka Crypto Wabbit. You may know him better by that. He's going to be joining us in a bit to talk about some of the news happening in that part of the ecosystem. So make sure you hang around. If you're just tuning in, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification, and that way you'll get notified when we go live. Make sure you do it. It helps us out a ton. And of course, if you like what you see here, be sure to vote for Telos Culture as a block producer candidate.
Yeah, it's we've been around for, wasn't the launch about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and we've climbed some spots. We're about half of the votes that we've got, we need to get into the a standby position, which is incredible. We're really loving
I was really impressed to see that. So thank you to everybody in the community for their support so far. I think it's like 15, 16 million votes we're at so far. We passed 100 followers on Twitter this week, so that was cool after only 2-3 weeks of being active. Past 40 subscribers here. And our Telegram channel's taken off and really active as well. So make sure you join all our channels because the party's just getting started. It's lots of fun.
Most definitely do. Well, we've tooted our own horn a little bit. Now let's. Do you want to jump into some ecosystem news? There's been a lot of really interesting things that have happened this week that we're really excited to tell you all about.
I want to get to that. Before we do, though, let's check in with our audience and hear where they're tuning into. We've got some good comments here. I'm coming from Quebec. Where are you coming from, Thomas?
I'm coming to you from sunny Toronto, Ontario.
Beautiful. We've got Daniello Bitar. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And he is part of a Destiny World representative. He's watching from Lebanon. Great to have you here, Daniello. Thomas, you want to try to pronounce his name because I'm gonna butcher it.
Yeah, we've got
leave that onus on you.
We've got Nee here from Nigeria, so great to see you.
We've got. Thank you for coming out. If we got that wrong, please DM us so we can get your pronunciation right next time. Shifra?
We've got from the California Bay Area. Very nice to see you. And thanks for showing up. You've been coming out to the last couple events.
Shifra, it's great to see you. B2, good to see you too. And of course, Jenna, thank you for the pins.
Yes, thank you, Jenna.
This is great. Keep letting us know in the comments where you're tuning in from, and keep a conversation going there. Get to know some other people from the community there. It's a great way just to come out to these events and get more connected with people in our ecosystem. I think we should jump in though, Thomas. You want to take it away with the news?
Yeah, let's hop into it. Because as you say, getting in touch with the community is one way to learn about the ecosystem, but getting caught up on all the different announcements that take place all across Telegram, social channels, not just from Hello Telos, but from a bunch of other partner channels as well. There's a lot gets lost in the mix there. So we've got a bunch of the items here from the last week that may have passed you by. So some of them are pretty recent too. So well, let's go through them. So the first one that we've got up here, this is pretty big news, and it's fitting for today, Earth Day as well. The Telos blockchain has announced that it's either it's gone carbon neutral.
Yeah, it's gone carbon neutral.
It's happened.
I think it's happened.
We're there.
We made it.
Neutral now?
We've been neutralized. All the carbon. Yeah, that's super exciting to see. We always knowing that Telos is one of the, if not the lowest, energy consumption blockchain, and now we're not just low energy consumption, we're carbon neutral, which makes us really carbon positive when you look at some of the really cool projects building on Telos, like Seeds and um, Haifa, Corco Coin. I heard broccoli's coming. A lot of things that really focus on improving our environment, and we'll probably see more of those projects coming with this news. Eh? What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I think you're totally right. So, just to give a little bit more details on how the carbon neutral process took place, the Telos Foundation has partnered with Plan Net Zero, and they're using a biochar to sequester carbon. So, going all the way back from the first block in late 2018 that Telos put out. Now they've calculated how much energy the blockchain has used since then, and they're offsetting it with biochar. So that's one way, as we've talked about, of achieving carbon neutral. But what you're talking about, the carbon positive, or sorry, carbon positive is not quite the word. Liam, why don't you say the right one?
I don't know if it's carbon positive. I think it is. Yeah, like
Oh yeah.
when you talk about the fact that not carbon positive.
I was going to
Yeah,
say
you're
carbon
right.
positive sounds like
Carbon
you're putting more
negative.
stuff at it.
We're having a net positive impact on the
Net
environment
positive. There we go.
because of all the regenerative projects that are building on Telos, and regenerative. Economics is an upcoming sort of really big trend. And regenerative and impact driven projects are really huge in this space right now. And so it's great to sort of just open ourselves up more to those types of projects. We should probably keep going on down the news, though.
Heck
You
yeah.
can find out more about that on the Telos Foundation Medium.
Yep.
Telos Spark winners are going to be announced today, so I'm looking forward to that. That's coming up in an hour, I think.
Yeah, the winners are going to be announced at 17 UTC, according to a Telegram post from the lovely Kirsten Worth, who we had on as a guest last Monday. So if plans have changed from then, I'm sure we'll find out very, very soon. But supposedly 17 o'clock is the event. The votes have taken place today. And yeah, we'll get to find out which will take home the top three crowning spots for the hackathon.
Well, that's really good. And if you missed it, you can check out Monday's episode of the Telos Buzz where we chat about all of that with Kirsten. If you've been keeping up, maybe let us know in the comments sort of which projects you're rooting for. I'd love to sort of get some insight if there's a favorite out there.
Liam, are you rooting for anyone? Like, who's your who would your pick be?
It's just too hard, I can't, and you know me, I can't pick a favorite. We love all of the projects in Telos, but I'd love to let the people in the audience pick a favorite, so that doesn't fall on me.
All right, we won't
but
get our predictions chart going for
get a little
hackathon.
Telos pool going.
Oh dear. Okay.
No. Let's keep going here, though. Speaking of cool projects, you go ahead on your end, Thomas. You take the next one.
All right, sounds good. We've got something really cool that just came out recently. A DeFi protocol, Rubik, is set to launch or integrate Telos into their network on April 25th. So just a few days, 3 days from now, which is pretty exciting. I'd not heard of Rubik before, but they operate on 11 blockchains. Pretty big names like Ethereum, BNB, Smart Chain, Polygon, Harmony, Avalanche, Moonriver, Phantom, Solana, Arbitrum, Aura, and Near, and now Telos. So that's pretty exciting for getting our name out there on some bigger DeFi platforms or applications. Liam, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think these sorts of protocols are always good, right? Because they just open us up to connecting with other ecosystems and creating more economic activity moving over to Telos, right? And so that's a good thing. And it's really cool to see a project like this with so many partnerships already there on Telos, right? Sometimes you might have a protocol launch and then they start to build these partnerships with those other chains. When you have something this big that's launching here and has already built up that network, the network effects are a lot bigger. And so hopefully that, brings more, puts us on the radar of more, DeFi traders and such for the Telos EVM, but not just the Telos EVM because we've got Destiny World here, but also Telos Native, right? We want to start creating some of that activity on that side of things as well. So I'm excited soon to be bringing in Destiny World again to chat about those DeFi opportunities there.
Most definitely. Cheers to that, Liam. Let's. Do you got your cup by the handy?
I got my lovely mug here.
Okay, there we go.
Got quotes from many, many novels all around it. It makes me seem more intelligent than I am.
Always important.
Speaking of just more cool things here, Apex. I don't think that's speaking of anything, but we have some great news here around Apex. Well, this is kind of related to Destiny World because Destiny World, if you've been keeping up, announced Destiny Airlines, last week, and Apex just partnered with Jetlegs, which is a travel company, and they're going to be allowing Apex users to buy tickets, like travel tickets, plane tickets, with their Apex tokens, which to me is so cool when you think about travel blogging and how that's going to really attract more people from that niche. And also when you just look at how important I think access to travel is for people. So now, as we see things grow, there's that potential for people who haven't been able to travel before to start using the app, getting those tokens, and go see places of the world that they haven't. So that I thought that was such a cool partnership to hear about.
Yeah, and it would absolutely be incredibly cool to use Apex, to use it enough that you're able to fund yourself to go on a trip to create more Apex posts, to receive more Apex tokens by yourself. I wonder how long you could go with just sustaining off.
I don't know, but
could you fly? We'll
go
see.
follow me on Apex, I guess is the plug there. And
Liam, you're on Apex.
I've made one post. I'm gonna make some more this weekend because now I want to get some plane tickets. So jump on Apex if you're not there. Follow me and all the other wonderful communities we have there, and help us buy our plane tickets away from here.
Most definitely. Well, we've got one last piece of news here, and then we were tooting our own horn at the beginning. We'll do it a little bit again because everyone loves that. We had our first Telos Culture text AMA take place with Area X.
That was a really fun event.
That was a good time.
No, it was great. We had lots of people join us from the Area X ecosystem during that event, so welcome to all of them. And Evan, who you guys might remember from last Friday, hosted it. It was just a good event. We were chatting with them for about an hour and a half almost, and got to know a lot about the stuff that's coming in their ecosystem, including a tidbit about a new token of theirs, right? So that was cool.
Yeah, and all that is, you can go in the Telos Culture Telegram group and kind of recap because it's all in text. But stay tuned because we're going to be doing a write-up about it later with all the hot news that came out of that. As Liam's saying, the tips about Positron, the new token. Yeah,
and Shifa. I mean, this is great to point out here, right? We've brought events like that have just grown more engagement in the ecosystem.
Oh, that's great so lovely.
Job, Shifa. So cool to see that you've done your created your first NFT. That's what this is all about. So that's really awesome to hear.
Shifa, can you pop a link into it? We'll show it off.
Yeah. Drop the link in the chat to your NFT if you can find it, and we'll bring it up near the end.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And of course, as Jenna's saying, we love Evan. He'll be back on another episode. Without further ado, we should bring in Philip. Before we do, just a reminder, subscribe, hit the like button if you like what you're seeing, and turn on that bell icon so that you get notified next time we go live with these events. Without further ado, let's bring in Philip.
Hello,
Philip, how's it going? AKA Crypto Rabbit.
Crypto Rabbit going great.
Would you prefer Philip or a Crypto Wabbit? And can I call you Mr. Wabbit if that's the case?
Yeah, of course. Crypto Wabbit comes from a American comic where I say meep meep. So it's like
I love it.
No, it doesn't matter. Call me Philip or Crypto Wabbit. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah. How are you doing? Thanks for coming out.
Fine,
great to have you
you.
here.
Fine. Getting to learn small talk and socializing again because we just lifted the COVID restrictions here in Norway. So I'm back at the office a couple of times a week. So yeah, it's changed, but it's good.
That's really awesome. I mean, we're going through the same thing here in Canada where things are opening up, and it's weird kind of to be back in those regular social environments again. I think it's going to be funnily enough, a learning curve for all of us,
Yeah, it's very, very strange because we had this kickoff at work a couple of weeks ago, and we had this futurist having a session And his thoughts is that we're actually going back from globalizing and decentralizing back into centralized regions again because of types of political conflicts and also the COVID situation. So it's a very strange thing. And he said that we're jumping like 5, 10 years into the future technology wise because we all had these teams and hang out in digital channels, but
Right.
because of COVID, we were forced to use them. So we're going from being lazy monkeys to actually innovative and skipping 5 or 10 years. So it's
Yeah,
it's, it's
you're
a very
right.
strange time.
Would
Yeah.
you say that we're becoming cyber chimps in a way?
Oh yeah, you never know. By social fi. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I think that's super interesting. Yeah, it's definitely like um, the network effects. I think of the past like, or those sort of ripple effects. I guess I could say you could say of the past couple of years. We're just going to start seeing them, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it'll be
Definitely.
interesting to see what sort of happens over the next 5, 10 years and beyond. I mean, Destiny World's going to be a big part of that, so we should jump in.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hopefully.
let's get some first information about yourself, about Destiny World, and give us some info about Destiny Airlines. The now I know it's not an actual airline, but I'm sure you can tell us all about that.
Yeah, it's a digital digital one. Yeah.
Digital one.
Well, I'm Crypto Wabbit. I'm the CTO CIO for Destiny World. We've been running live, I think, for about a year. I think we have our anniversary in May on the Telos Native network, and we're basically building a ecosystem, trying to connect everyday people and teach them about what blockchain is really about. That, yeah, I think that's the high level piece of it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I think one of the things I really like about your project and your community too is just, I think, is that community aspect, right? That the team has. You guys are so forward with who you are. I remember when I first learned about you guys, that was a big thing you talked about, right? Building trust in DeFi protocols and stuff like that. And you've done that with your community too. So, yeah, I love that you're looking at just growing that awareness for DeFi, and yeah, you've got some really cool things going on. So
Yeah,
let's talk about Destiny Airlines. I think, eh?
yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember 1 year ago when we started up and we had all these visions and ideas about kind of building awareness in the crypto space. And then one of the things we wanted to experiment with was to see, instead of compete between different projects, we wanted to collaborate and build synergy. And the recent events on Telos is that the focus is driving away from Telos native into the EVM, and that's natural because that's a new playground and it's exciting and there's a lot of opportunities there. But I also think that if we look at other blockchains like Binance Network, Ethereum, et cetera, they have different types of drivers. As an example, Binance Network is driven by short-term investments, a lot of meme coins, a lot of rug pulls, a lot of scams. But people like it because they understand how these scams are working. So they're building up different types of communities, taking advantage of those scams. And I believe that if we are going to survive as a top-notch blockchain, I compare us to Apple. We are Apple. We are the Apple brand, but we open up our phones or utilities like Android, and in order to kind of build a new brand between Apple and Android, or Telos and the blockchain space in general, we need those types of communities that are both short-term and long-term. And in order for an ecosystem to work, we also need some sort of, it can't be sequential, it can't be predictable. We have to have these real life balances between iterations and kind of loops where everything is working together back and forth. So Destiny Airlines is the brand between the Destiny World and Fortis Technologies, or Fortis, where we are going to build journeys and adopt communities across blockchains, utilizing both DeFi, NFTs, and other trends that are in the market as of now, like a metaverse, for instance.
Wow, that sounds so. So what I'm hearing is that this is a way to promote collaboration between all these different protocols,
Yeah,
to ensure that as you were talking about, there's a lot of short-term opportunities, as there's long-term opportunities too. But how can those be connected together,
Yeah.
while also bringing in NFTs, metaverse, giving people? What would that kind of give people? Like, what kind of experience would you want to create for them?
I think we're moving away from classical DeFi things into a more experimental social fi thing. As an example, Telos Punks. I could not uh, operate on Telegram today if I didn't know I had a Telos Punk. So Telos Punks has been part of my social identity, and I love that. I'm so proud of being a Punk, and because it is Telos. And I think that trying to combine though that type of utility into NFTs that has been traditionally something to collect and then either sell or trade or just keep and hold. I think those pipelines are very interesting to start experimenting with, and that's also what we try to achieve. That Destiny Airlines will be kind of a hub between blockchains, so more people can utilize and take advantage of the features we're building on Telos EVM now with Telos Punks, with Cyberchimps, with Apish Punks, etc., etc. Trying to connect those flows together so more people, yeah, basically build awareness of it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that whole social thing really just speaks to like how the industry is just maturing too, right? We've kind of moved past, okay, this is all about just making gains and getting our Lambo now. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
making connections, right? Yeah, connect with other people, building those communities, and figuring out how we can have a positive impact on the different projects that we work with. So, yeah, Telos Punks is a great example of that for
yeah.
sure.
It is. I think so. Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to then when Destiny Airlines launches?
I think it is to see the feedback from a very different type of community that is on Binance Smart Chain, or sorry, Binance Network today, and see how they yeah, the feedback from those communities, and see if the credibility and the minimal value product we're building on Telos will actually target them in a good way or not. Because the entire idea is that we want those guys to come back through the TEVM into Telos to show them all the technology and all the advantages we have. So that's the most interesting thing, I guess, the feedbacks we will get when we're launching. Yeah.
That's super cool. That's really great. Is there anything else really going on in your ecosystem right now that you want to touch on that we haven't talked about? I know one thing I was thinking about was just how you were involved pretty heavily in the Fortis project and their staking platform. They sneaked peeked the other day. So, what's that collaboration like? How did that come about? Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, and then, like I say, anything else you want to chat about before we
Oh,
wrap?
it came about, I think, more than 1 year ago when we met Hasu. It was actually David who met Hasu more than 1 year ago, and they asked us if Telos was a good place to start up, and we got a lot of advice from Justin, from Douglas, from other people in the Telos Foundation, and we onboarded Fortis into Telos, and we're pretty proud of that. And it's not only Destiny World; it's the entire community, entire TCD, entire TF that made that happen. And over time, we figured out that we share the same ideas, we share the same visions, and we found out that if they focus on the fintech technology and components, and we focus on more on social part awareness and build connectors, we together we can build a great product. And we see that already now because we have each our projects, but we also started up Cyberchimps, which is a NFT project, and that project is not owned by Destiny World or Fortis. It is owned by people from Fortis, people from Destiny World, and actually Telos Punks. And it will be like a utility for Telos Punks. So as of now, or right now, before Telos Punks is actually launched, we already have utility and are building utility for them in addition to the utility they are building. And I think that's what's our vision is all about. We want to connect things, we want to build, yeah, and
Yeah.
never stop, never end.
So just one question kind of coming from that. Like, you've talked a lot about collaboration, whether you're collaborating between NFT projects like with Cyberchimps and Telos Punks, whether you're collaborating and connecting those different networks. But what drives you personally to be that connecting force? Why is that important to you? Because I mean, you very much could. You could build yourself up as just you. It's just Telos or it's just Destiny World, but you're really strong on making connections. What drives you to do that?
I don't know. I just enjoy it. Ever since I was a kid, all the things that I got for in Christmas and birthdays, like a telescope or a clock or watch or whatever, I dismantled it and built it together and combined components. So I think it's in my genes that I like to kind of break things down and build them up again to something bigger. I just enjoy it. I love it. I love design. I love speaking with people and making more people happy. So if I have an idea that I believe might be positive, I share it and get feedback, and then yeah, I don't know.
No, I love that. That's super cool. I think I relate to that too. I mean, on the side of competition, right? Competition can just eat up resources, right? So it's way better to create connections and work together. In terms of taking apart things and putting them together, I had the same sort of childhood. I always said I wanted to be a crazy inventor when I grew up, and then my sister said, "Well, you know, you might blow yourself up if you do that." And then I left that dream for a bit. But I think coming back into the blockchain ecosystem, we're all a bit, crazy inventors, just coming up with weird concepts and connecting things and making cool things happen. So yeah, that's really great to hear that you have that sort of attitude.
And definitely something that I think a lot of the people in this space are drawn to, as we've got a comment here saying so. Yeah, we're all kind of in the right spot, which is very, very good to be here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Philip, Crypto Wabbit, where can we learn more about Destiny World, Destiny Airlines, and all of this? Where should we send people coming out of this?
I think the best place is to send them to our Telegram channels or Twitter channels. We have a pitch deck, but pitch deck is more into retail investors. It's more like overall information. But closer to launch, we will have more and more kind of AMA sort of sessions where people can ask questions, and we will try to explain them, and also try to explain the technical part of it, the roadmap, and why we believe it will be pretty cool to join that ecosystem.
That's awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, head there. We just dropped a link there in the chat to the Telegram.
Charter yourself a direct flight to the Destiny World Telegram.
Yeah. Fly over there. It's going to be great. Yeah, and they've got a really good community. It's just a fun place to be in. I think that's probably a good point to wrap there. Thanks so much, Philip, for coming out. It's really great to have you here.
Just a small quote about the communities. We have, I think, 5 or 6 language channels driven by community members, and we could not have done Destiny World the way it is today without those guys. So a huge shout out to all our admins and all the people that are helping in all those different languages. So thank you, guys.
That's really great to hear. Community is an important thing for you guys, for Telos, for all of us. So thanks to everybody who came out and joined us today as well. And again, make sure you follow Telos Culture to just stay connected to all the communities here on Telos. Go follow us on Twitter, on Telegram, at Telos Culture. Make sure you subscribe while you're watching and hit like. I'm going to keep, throwing that one out there just to make sure you all get notified about our next event. We're going to be back on Monday to catch up on all the news that happened over the weekend. Anything else on your end, Thomas, that I missed?
Go and cast your vote for Telos Culture.
Course. Vote for us. Best way to support us on our mission here. Like I said at the beginning, we've hit 15, 16 million votes now on mainnet, so we're growing fast, and we appreciate everyone's support.
Yeah. And like Liam said, stay tuned for our next Telos Buzz event coming up. Philip, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here with us. Have a great rest of your evening, and everyone else have a great rest of your day, whatever time of day it is for you. We'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.